I'm Scott Weichel. You're listening to My Kind of Country right here on Fish Creek Radio. Our guest tonight is a country music and Texas honky-tonk legend with over 55 years in the business and hits such as You Comb Her Hair and Walk and Talk and Breathe in Case of Sorrow. A duet album with Willie Nelson, plus many great albums of his own. He's real deal country music, folks. Please welcome Curtis Potter to My Kind of Country. Curtis, how are you today?
I'm doing great, Scott. Thank you.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. I've been looking forward to this one for a long time. I really appreciate you taking time to be with us today.
Well, I appreciate you having me.
Well, you've got, my goodness, you got a lot of music out there, and it's all stone cold country music, and you've had a tremendous history in the music business, and you're still out there doing it, and I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, we're still out there beating it. In fact, we're going to leave here in a couple hours, going to Nashville, and doing a few TV shows and radio shows down there. So we're just still out there having a good time.
Well, that's fantastic. Yeah, I know you guys are going to be on the Midnight Jamboree. I'm going to tune that in this Saturday night.
Oh, great. Yeah, that's always a lot of fun.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, you're staying busy in Texas, too. You've got a lot of dates you're doing down there, and, of course, you're working with Heart of Texas Records. And tell me a little bit about the Survivors album. You've got two of those out now with Tony Booth and Daryl McCall.
Yeah, we have two, and we're talking about another one. As soon as we can get some material together, we'll start on another one. Those two have been pretty good to us, you know. So looking forward to working with those guys again.
Well, absolutely, and you know, I applaud Tracy Pitcox and everybody at Heart of Texas for keeping country alive, and he's got a wonderful stable of artists, including yourself on that label, and I love the music.
Well, I tell you, my hat is certainly off to Tracy Pitcox because he's one that's helping keep our kind of music alive, in a big way. He's of course, you got the museum there in Brady, Texas, and he does such great things, for country music. And he's a hard-working man, and I love him to death.
Well, he sure is, and I'm very very proud of that, and so glad that he's doing that. And I'll tell you, Justin Trevino is another guy that I just love talking to, and he was on my show a while back, and what a great guy to talk to. Very very knowledgeable in country music history as well.
Oh, I tell you what. Justin is, I don't know exactly how old, 40-something, but he can tell you anything you want to know about any artist going back to just about anybody. Jimmy Rogers, I suppose. He's very knowledgeable, and I enjoy talking to him about that. And also, Justin is one of the finest singers that I've ever heard, and he also produces most of the Heart of Texas records.
He sure does.
And that boy, he stays busy, and he's a great talent.
He sure is. He and I become friends. I was real happy to get to know him. We've spent a lot of time talking about music, and I've been on his radio show too. He has a show on Wednesday nights that he does down there, and we've been on each other's show. That's been a lot of fun. Yeah, he's great. Well, I want to go back and ask you about you were with Hank Thompson's Brazos Valley Boys for I think 13 years. Tell me a little bit about Hank Thompson.
13 years.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Well, I first joined Hank in 1959. I was playing guitar, and we had a big band. We went to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, I think it was, and we come home, and Hank said, well, we're not going to use a guitar player anymore. I thought, well, this is it. He said, but we'd like you to play bass. And I said, well, Hoss, I've never played bass in my life. And he said, well, we'll teach you. So he called Leo Fender up in California and had me a bass and amp shipped to Tulsa, Oklahoma. And we went up and played Kane's Ballroom that Saturday night. And I just barely could thump on that thing. And he said, I want you to get together with a guy in California. We were on our way back to California then. And for 2 or 3 days, stay at his house and let him help you on bass. And I said, well, who is it? He said, Merle Travis.
No kidding.
I stayed at Merle Travis' house for about 3 days. And when I come out of there, I was a different bass player. I'll guarantee you.
I'll bet.
That guy, he just knows how to show people, and he just helped me tremendously.
That's great. Well, Hank Thompson, I tell you, I play a lot of his songs, and I was privileged to get to see him in concert some years ago, and he was always the showman. He never changed. He was always professional and just put on a fantastic show. And love his music.
Exactly, yeah. Yes, sir. You can tell it was Hank Thompson when he walked on that bandstand, that big shiny suit and that tall frame. He was quite the showman.
Well, that's something I miss in the country music they have nowadays. It's very hard to tell who's singing and playing. And back in those days, I could tell you who was doing the song most of the time before they even started singing. And Hank Thompson was certainly one of those.
Well, you're exactly right. And to me, and I'm not putting down today's country. We have a lot of good stuff out there, but to me, a lot of it sounds exactly alike, and a lot of the singers sound alike, and seem to me like they're trying to get away from the core of country music, trying to put it over into the rock and roll field or something. I don't know.
Well, I personally have no problem with it, but don't shove the real country music aside. That's where I have an issue,
Well, me too. I don't have a problem with the music, but hey, just call it what it is. Don't call it country.
Amen to that. Amen. Well said. Well, your first big hit was "You Comb Her Hair." I love that song. Tell me about that.
Yes, it was. Yeah, Joe Allison produced that way back there, and he said, "I think we need to do this song." He said, "I think now it's on the flip side of a George Jones hit, Races On or something." Anyway, the flip side of that record of George Jones was playing, so he said, "Let's do You Comb Her Hair." And we did, and it became a top 5 record for us. So I was very proud of that.
That's a good song. Yeah, I remember George Jones doing that one too. That's a good song.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. Well, tell me about another favorite of mine is "Walking, Talking, Breathing, Case of Sorrow." Man, I love that one.
Oh, yeah. Great friends of mine, Boudleaux and Felice Bryant in Nashville, some of the greatest writers that's ever been, brought that song over to the studio. I was recording, and I'd never met them before, and I didn't have any idea they knew even who I was or anything, but they brought the song over to the studio and called me in there and played it for me, and I said, "Y'all wrote this?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, can I please record it?" They said, "We'll get after it." So we recorded it that day.
Is that right?
Yeah. I thought the world of them.
That's a good song. Of course, I love the title, but I've always liked that song too. We play that on the show quite a bit. That's a good one.
Do you?
You betcha. You betcha. You've had some other great stuff. Them Old Honky Tonks is one that I love, and Chicago Dancing Girls down in Texas today. And you've done the Survivors Project and the Potter's Touch. I believe is that your latest solo album?
No, the Songs of the Cherokee Cowboy. It's a little tribute to the great Ray Price. I did all of Ray Price's songs. That's the latest one.
Oh wow! I don't have that one. I'm gonna have to get that. I'm a huge Ray Price fan.
Call Tracy, and he'll ship you one up there.
Oh, great. Well, we'll get that. And, of course, folks, you can go to CurtisPotterCountry.com, and all of your music is available there. And HillbillyHits.com is the website for Heart of Texas Records, and their whole stable of artists have their CDs available there. And then CD Baby, Amazon.com, iTunes, and Ernest Tubb Record Stores there in Nashville has them. Is there still an Ernest Tubb Record store in Fort Worth?
No, there's not.
Okay, I wasn't sure if they were still there or not. I was down there the last time I was in Texas, but it's been a while, so I wasn't quite sure about that. Okay.
No, that one sadly closed down.
That's too bad. That's too bad. Well, I know they're trying to stay alive, and we always encourage our listeners to visit when they go to Nashville and order from them and keep them going, because
yes,
that's one of the oldest traditions we have in country music. We can't lose the Ernest Tubb Record Shop.
Boy, that's the truth. You can go in and find any album you want, you know, whether it be on wax, CD, or what. It's a great company.
Absolutely. Well, talking about record labels, you co-founded Step One Records, is that right?
Yes, sir. I helped start that label, and we were very successful there for quite a few years. And I don't know. It's a long story. About got too deep in, started spending too much money. Spending millions of dollars, and anybody putting up that kind of money is going to say, "Whoa!" sometime or the other. So
sure.
But it was a great run while it happened. While it was happening.
A lot of great records came out of Step One Records.
They sure did.
Ray Price, Gene Watson was on that label, and oh my gosh, bunches of them. Good stuff.
Oh yeah, had a ton of them.
Ray Pennington.
Yeah. Ray Pennington and the Swing Shift Band. Boy, that's some great records.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, you also did a duet album with Willie some years ago. Tell me a little bit about that one.
Yeah, I did. We went down to his place, and it's called 6 Hours at Pedernales. In fact, Tracy Pitcox just got some of those, and you can order them from my website or the Heart of Texas website. We just went in and did a bunch of songs, and then later on we did another album together, and Tracy's got that one too, I believe. But that was on Hillside Records.
Okay.
So it's always a lot of fun to work with Willie. He's one of my favorite people.
That's cool. Did you guys record in the same studio together, or did you overdub, or?
No, in the same studio.
I'll bet that was a lot of fun.
It was. It sure was. Yes, sir.
Well, what's your take on country radio these days? I know it's I think there's still a lot of stations in Texas that are playing real country, but it's not the case all over. And a lot of places are going to the internet radio shows and shows like what I'm doing. Excuse me.
Well, I think it's people like you and Tracy Pitcox and Joe Belinsky and those folks keeping our kind of music alive. And well, I hope you guys hang in there, because country radio is not country anymore. You can't tune in just any station. You get what they call classic country. Well, you'll hear an old recording of No Telling Who,
Yeah, like Brooks and Dunn or Garth Brooks or somebody.
Yeah. Hear an old record, and they call that classic country,
Yeah.
Well, to me, that's not, It's not to say it's not good music, but it's just not my kind of music.
Yeah, me too. Well, my kind of country is what we're playing here, and that's what it's all about. And you're definitely on that list for sure. CurtisPotterCountry.com. That's the place to go.
Well, thank you very much, Scott, for having me, and I appreciate you what you're doing for us, man. Keep it up.
Well, you bet we will, and have a good time in Nashville. What TV shows are you doing up there?
I don't know yet. There's talk about the diner, but I don't have a date on that yet.
Well, my listeners can tune into RFD TV and of course Larry's Country Diner. Everybody knows that, and Country's Family Reunion, and we'll look for you guys.
Yeah, we've been on that a couple of times already, so
yeah,
may do another one of those. I don't know.
That'd be great. Well, we'll look for you, and then of course the Midnight Jamboree, and again, yep. CurtisPotterCountry.com and HillbillyHits.com, and I'll tell you what, Curtis Potter is real deal country music, one of the best voices, and a real nice guy to talk to, and I want to thank you for being on My Kind of Country, Curtis.
Well, bless your heart, Scott. Think the world of you, and thanks again, man.
All right, thanks for taking time. And Curtis, we're going to play one of your songs right now. I'm going to let you play DJ here and tell me which one you want us to play.
Oh, gosh, makes no difference to me. What have you got queued up?
Well,
You don't cue them up anymore like they used to.
you know, I actually sometimes I do. I do play vinyl on my show. I have one of those turntables that goes right into your computer. So I do.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I do that. So,
I'll be darned.
well, I got to play this one because I love it. It's Walking, Talking, Breathing Case of Sorrow, 1973. We'll play that one.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Curtis Potter, thank you again. My Kind of Country continues right here on Fish Creek Radio.
Thanks, Scott.